We're live. What's going on, everybody? What is it, Saturday? Happy Saturday. You are now tuned in to Planetary HQ, the planetary headquarters for all of your celestial information. You know me, Dedrick Baker, XDBakeTheWise on Instagram, with my brother again, Tay Chilla, live.
What's up?
In person. It's awesome. Usually we're tuning in remotely, and it's just awesome to be in person. So I feel like the dynamic is just way better. You don't have to wait for that little time lag that you have to do through the internet, but whatever. I'm just a little bit happy right now, so forgive me. But before we dive into this overcontrol of evolution, the celestial beings who are responsible for the entire process of generating the hominid form from the single cell organism. We're going to talk about Watson and Crick. We're going to talk about the double helix. We're going to talk about the life implantation zones. We're going to go deep into the cosmic celestial hierarchy. You guys are going to love it. But as you've been noticing before the last couple episodes, we've been kind of trying to inject some creativity into this, just like the life carriers inject creativity into our planet. We're doing that on a mental, creative, and spiritual level. And we've been starting to do some cosmic ciphers, I guess you would say. Some celestial freestyles, rap battles.
Encoded light codes into cipher.
With our tongue in harmonic space, using our vocal intonations to program via harmonic rhythms.
Basically what the Egyptians did with their mantras.
Yeah, exactly. And in a modern day way, using hip-hop, because hip-hop's hot, dude.
Yeah,
we're onto something here.
And you ever see people doing like all the hip hop moves? They're doing all these moves. Like, how do we know that that's not like a secret form of yoga? Like, there's light codes encoded. There's like it's altering the state of consciousness. It's like, you know, these symbols that they're throwing. It's like mudras. Like,
and we are just using a distorted form of it. If we could perfect it and figure out the actual light codes behind it, maybe the keys to Enoch and the Urantia book can give us those fire letters to figure out exactly how to do it and stuff like that. No Illuminati third eye, whatever, but. Yeah, so we're going to do a little intro right now about Paper 65. We got a little rap for you guys. We took a little time doing it, so hope you guys enjoy it. Without further ado, DJ.
Let's get it.
That beat drop.
Planetary HQ in the mix. Yeah. We out here.
Yeah. Planetary HQ.
Live and in person.
Urantia gang, Earth gang, Star gang. Evolution ain't chaos. It's coded. Let's go. Yo, life didn't spark from a roll of the dice. It was laid by design. Ooh, so damn precise. Carriers came with that seed of the light. Controllers shaped up the left and shaped up the right. Energy danced, then the matter aligned. Threefold build, body, soul, and the mind. Spirit reached in and tuned the beast to divine. Put the code in the core. Now we climb by design. Overcontrol, that's the name of the game. Ain't no luck in the cosmic flame. Spirit, matter, and mind all in sync. Every link in the chain makes you think. Evolution is a path, not a guess. Up from the mud to the throne, no less. Saying overcontrol, yeah, that's the vibe. Universal laws, we along for the ride.
Started with the sparks in the chemical soup. Life got hacked by a heavenly group. Adjutants wired the primal brain. I just flew in the spirit plane. Ain't just nature, nature with will. Coded with love and found with the skill. Climbing the rungs of the DNA chain. Spirit of God is truth in my brain. Yeah. Evolution with the brakes and the gas. Spirit slow cooking, don't move fast. Life got phases, laws that God made the scene unseen collide. From atoms to man, it's all in control. Blueprint written in the cosmic scroll. Blueprint written on the cosmic scroll, yeah.
Blueprint written on the cosmic scroll. So, one you ask if it's random. Nah, you've been shaped by the source, that's the law. Master plan from the dirt to the stars. You're a child of the sky, that's who you are. Life ain't random, it's mission driven. Spirit coded with precision, yeah, it is risen. No time ain't slipping, it's stepping in place. Each cell sparked by what? By the hidden grace. Galactic plans in the womb, deep in the earth. Took millions of spin just to birth this worth. Mind ain't just meat, it's the gate to the throne where the light downloads and the soul soul gets grown. Debate.
Controllers holding the grid in check, keeping the atoms from going wreck. Evolution got breaks and gears, gotta rise through the blood in the years. Nothing's left to a corner or toss. We got our roots in the cosmic cross. Even the fall got our place to play, to teach to climb and show the way. Even the fall got our place to play, to teach to climb and show the way. Show the way. Even the fall got our place to play, to teach to climb and show the way.
Just show 'em, baby.
Planetary HQ. Yeah.
Planetary HQ, debake the wise. Overcontrol, that's the name of the game.
Salute.
Ain't no luck in the cosmic flame. Spirit, mitre, and mind in sync. Every link in the chain makes you think. Evolution's a path, no guess. Up from the mud to the throne, no less. Saying overcontrol, that's the vibe. Universal laws, debate. Tay Chiller, we along for the ride, baby. Planetary HQ.
You hit it with the you hit it with the fast verse there too.
You found me speed up. You inspire me, dog.
Oh yeah.
Urantia gang. Shout out to the Urantia book.
Dang, bruh.
That's paper 65 for you. If you ain't got one already, if you ain't heard of it, you tripping. Go get yourself a Urantia book. Link is in the description.
Beautiful.
Hope you guys like that little intro. Trying to get them creative juices flowing before we dive deep into the forbidden scrolls.
Ooh, forbidden.
I feel like a wizard on hip hop right now. Does that make sense?
Wizard hop.
Wizard hop, star hop. Fuck yeah.
Oh
dude.
yeah, we are coining that term, star hop.
Star hop's in the future of hip hop. The evolved form of hip hop. Hip hop will be in a museum one day, and it'll be like, this is the beginning of star hop. People are like, whoa, we used to rap about killing people. That's wild.
Yeah, that's super. That's funny.
But yeah, so the overcontrol of evolution. I guess we can just jump right into it. If you haven't seen part 1, go check out part 1. It's a live stream. Just go scroll down. I talk about it. I opened it up by myself. Tay Chilla was actually at Full Disclosure Now. Shout out to Full Disclosure Now. Killing it over there. We got a lot of sick content, so keep it locked for that. Again, if this is your first time on the channel, welcome. I hope you enjoyed that little intro. I know you might be a little bit cosmically stupefied by those fire ass buys, but don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you do stay up to date with all the celestial broadcasts. We like to have fun with it, but we also like to go deep with it. So bring your tinfoil and bring your boombox. Pretty much is what I'm saying. Speaking of boombox, shout out to Chad Muska, 1 foot at 5'0", thumping forever. Got that Muska board behind me. You know me. I'm a skater for real. You already know the deal. Chad Muska is my favorite. So shout out to the man, the myth, the legend, Chad Muska. So the overcontrol of evolution, what it's like, kind of just like ETs, angelic beings that planted the single cell on planet Earth and watched it, overwatched it, kind of protected it, and let it spawn into what we consider man of today.
Yeah.
Go watch episode 1 because I don't have to explain everything again. But to be really quickly, directed panspermia, we have the people who discovered the human genome, the DNA double helix, Watson and Crick. They later came out with a paper called Directed Panspermia. They were the ones who literally discovered the double helix DNA sequence, and they said that Earth, there's no way that this sequence evolved on planet Earth. The time it took to evolve this complexity of the DNA, it far exceeds the age of the Earth. The Earth is too young for it to have been generated down here. Therefore, they theorized panspermia, that this single cell hitched a ride on a meteorite and it hit planet Earth or a comet or something like that, and that's what seeded our planet, which makes logical sense. But they actually came out with a paper that says it's not only that, it's directed panspermia, and that beings, extraterrestrials, excuse me, they actually brought the material and the blueprints over on a ship. I know it sounds wild, but like I said, it's not just us with tinfoil on our hats talking out of our ass. This is the people who discovered DNA. And we have the paper we're going to read from today. It's called Directed Panspermia. We will throw the link in the chat so that you guys can keep up with us. But so that's a little overview of what we're doing, pretty much. ETs that seeded and oversaw our evolution. I did the first 3 parts of paper 65 from the Urantia book. That's called Overcontrol of Evolution. And we're going to get on part 4 right now. The Urantia adventure. Do you want to say anything to the people before we start munching these words?
Yeah. The overarching concept of directed evolution. I think this is really what we need to, I guess, merge okay, so classical belief was just God created everything. He's literally hovering above the earth. sort of like playing with these chessboard games, and it's very like personal, like as if God is literally controlling everything, rather than the mechanistic universe, which science has really discovered and be like, oh, there's actually like this sort of like an automatic system, this sandbox that we were given to play in, where God's not moving all the sand grains around and making sure certain things happen. He's sort of like giving us the free for all to play in the sandbox. The sandbox in this analogy is 3D time space reality,
The physical universe.
the physical universe,
Planets.
Planets. It also includes some of the lower end of the spiritual universe, which is still kind of tied to that time, that linear time, I guess.
You're right. It's
you
all
could
the
say.
sandbox.
And yeah, this is all the sandbox. So what I'm saying is like the classical belief was like it was too superstitious, and then science, the Renaissance came around, and they really kind of took a step back, and they were like, okay, like we want to understand the mechanistic aspect to this universe, so that we can assign the correct sort of meaning to these events.
Renaissance.
And so we did that, and now in the modern age we're kind of in a bit of a materialist phase where we really want to get all the superstition out, and we've taken that to the extreme where now like we're like so extreme that we're like life just had to happen by chance. Like that's the sort of premise that we came to.
The primordial soup theory.
Yeah, that is 100% by chance.
A lot of people think of that today. It was taught to me when I was young that life started in the primordial soup. Panspermia wasn't taught. It was. I think some schools might still say this. If you look it up classically, the explanation is the primordial soup of chemicals and elements just floating in the ocean. And then I think lightning strikes, and then lightning somehow like creates the first
gets it going or
gets
something.
The first thing going.
Which is still a bit of a magical explanation. It still takes some sort of outside. I don't know, but yeah. So the way you kind of mix both of these worlds together is that you go directed or overseen evolution. That's why this paper is called the Overcontrol of evolution, because evolution as a process, it does occur on its own. It takes millions of years. However, there are key points along that process where intelligent beings actually step in and they make tiny changes, or they spur it ahead.
Shout out to Jesus, shout out to Melchizedek, shout out to Adam and Eve.
And also, later down the line, when they get like a real like human species that has like the capacity for higher consciousness, then they take like a big step in the overcontrol of evolution, where they actually introduce what we would consider extraterrestrial DNA. It's not exactly that, because it's actually like a DNA system that's like encoded to work specifically with this planet and upgrade the DNA in a big way. But the reason they don't do that from the start, like why don't they just bring full on alien beings here from the start? Well, part of the goal of like time and space is to evolve unique life programs across many planets. The evolutionary process is perfect for that, because it comes up with variations on its own. They want that natural part. It's like beautiful. It's that mix between like a natural suntan versus the artificial system spray tan, or the UV or something.
I want spray tan. Yeah, that's those might be the grays.
Right. now that's a bad example, but there's other example of like the natural process versus like the producer that's behind this. It's like a reality TV show that's like overproduced, like where they script it out too much and then you lose the naturalness. It's not organic. Exactly. So there, it seems that the higher ups, the celestials, they want this mix. They want mostly organic, but then at key points they sort of speed up the process to get to the overall goal of getting ascendant souls to actually. Okay, so the cosmic question is like, can we get the lowest beings in the universe, the animal beings that rise up from the single cell soup? Can we get them into the afterlife, the eternal life ascension scheme, cosmic school system? Like, is that possible to do that? And how fast can we do it? We need to keep it a certain level of stability. All those like kind of big questions. So to me, that's the end. That's the end game for this stage of the universe, is this whole evolutionary concept and getting like eternal souls to come out of this, to come out of the mud, you could say.
Yeah, like the substratum. And it makes perfect sense, because like different planets are like different petri dishes. The Urantia book and the Keys of Enoch tells us that the Father is kind of generating infinite images. Time space itself is infinite images. If you try, like, infinity is infinite. It's an abstract concept. But what does infinity look like when it gets manifested in infinity in the material time space universe? what does infinity look like in the material time-space universe? It looks like infinite diversity, infinite images. So I guess the source is just pumping out new images. We are one of these images. I'm happy to be one of them. It's great to be a human being. And every single planet is like variations on the theme. They want to see if they can generate a new, sturdier, novel image that can help the cosmos in a different capacity than was previously ever created. And it's the same in humans, like on a cosmic scale, we know the end. In the end, we know where they're going to go, but the path to get there can be very different. Same in real life. We're all trying to be successful and get to the point where we're not struggling. We're kind of living comfortable, but we're still, getting after and creating stuff. It's like that. They call it the rat race, where there's different ways to get to the top. I'm not saying these are what you should strive to be, but there's comics, there's actors, there's painters, there's musicians, there's a bunch of different ways to get to the top, and like you're all getting to the top. And I know, I'm sorry I have to use the 21st century Earth social economic structure as a template image for you to understand this concept, but on a cosmic scale, it's kind of the same thing. They know we're going to get to the top, that the finality core. We're all going to get to the Father, but there's different paths to get there, and there's beauty in variation. It's cool when you get to the top and someone else got there and he got there a different way, and now you're super interested in how he got there, and you can learn some techniques from him and he can learn some techniques from you. Like it's such a beautiful way of doing it, that infinite variation. So that's I'm just riffing off what you're talking about. Exactly. Yeah, like 100%. It's a beautiful picture.
It's fun. It's an adventure. It really is an adventure. It's not just the pure survival of the fittest is the nature of the cosmos. That's just what it looks like when we come from the animal strain here, and on a surface level it looks like it's a cold, dark universe.
Yeah.
But there is a host of teeming life with beings overseeing this process.
Stay strong, people.
Yeah, it only looks dark partly because we don't really understand like the survival of life after death. Yeah, we can't see spirit. But like,
and we don't know that. Yeah, that's a spiritual concept right there. Yeah. What you just said, like we don't know life after death. That's a thought form in your mind, and like even though you can't see it, it's real. So you can see spirit. Your spiritual eyes are open. It's pretty cool. So you can see spirit. A lot of people don't understand. I guess
some people would say that like it's my belief that there's life after death, where it's like you're imagining it. You're just you're filling in the blanks.
And that's a cool thing about the Urantia book. They have a very specific papers that talk about what faith is, what true faith, capital F faith is, not lowercase faith, like have faith in me, have faith in that. They say faith is a reality in the cosmos. And they say faith is truth. It's what is.
Okay.
Faith is when you can recognize what is without seeing it.
Got it.
Okay. So if I'm a caveman in the middle of the woods and I've never seen an airplane before, doesn't mean airplanes don't exist. And then I go out of my cave and then I see like the allegory of the cave. You see an airport. Oh my God, now I know airplanes exist. They existed the entire time. I just wasn't conscious of it. Mm-hmm. But if I knew about the airplanes in the cave, even though I never seen them, I'm tapping into a reality. I have faith now. I'm seeing what's true. So faith is a belief in true things that are unseen, if that makes sense.
Sure.
And then once you can apply that in your everyday reality, then I guess you have a higher spiritual value in the cosmos. That's why we get the Agandanter status, those who can operate without seeing God. Mm-hmm. So like we're super hard. We don't even need to see this fool. We're still going to get after it,
Yeah. And
so we're aligning up with true reality, even though we can't see it. So it's not our imagination. It's true reality.
I want to explain that Agandanter word real quick. So Earth has some special conditions to it, and one of the conditions is that we're basically in a sort of quarantine from the normal galactic celestial administration.
Yep.
And this story is recorded in a couple different ways throughout different parts of history.
Oh, yeah.
Some of it is, if you're ancient alien theorist, you're talking about the Anunnaki who were helping us at first, but then they kind of flipped the switch and enslaved us. We're doing genetic experiments.
Yep.
If you're looking at the Bible, it would be two separate occasions. It would be one, the brief mention of an angelic rebellion.
Yep.
That's sort of an unknown story, from the Bible, but that's still in there. And then there's also
the angels fell.
Right. And then the
Eve.
Adam and Eve story is also a really big
The serpent.
thing that got messed up. And there were other people here beyond Adam and Eve. There
Those
was
are
the pre-Adamic
distorted
species.
stories of a cosmic rebellion. Like, it's the
Right.
most weird way of saying it.
But it's amazing that any of the stories survive.
Exist.
And
Me too.
And you can tell
They
there's
shaped
some
history, dude.
There's some amount of morality and something that they're trying to say, but we can't take them over literal, especially when you do the cross comparative analysis to the stories. But that's not the purpose of this episode.
No,
What I'm getting into is Agendanter thing. So basically, a lot of cosmic missions here kind of failed, which abstracted away the celestial teachers who would have like really taught us how to have both a spiritual and material civilization, and they would have taught us these higher concepts, potentially even giving us more like proof and consistency in world management to have a more peaceful system. But because that didn't happen, the conditions became like a really big free for all here.
Yeah.
And in the afterlife, allegedly, when we get up there from Earth, we are actually classified in this special status that they call Agendanter, which is a sort of the beings that had to use the most faith, because the truth about reality was so much more hidden from us down here. It was so obscure.
They call it occult, hidden.
Right. It was so hidden. And that's that gives us, I guess, this special status in the afterlife, and it's almost like a respect factor as well. It's like, oh snap, like
badge of honor, baby.
They had no evidence of extraterrestrials, and yet they still found out that
figured it out.
There's things happening in the background. Some of their ancient events were
without
actually
ever seeing it.
Yeah, and also the I guess the faith aspect here is that they had faith that it was part of a greater cosmic program, and that eventually they would figure it out. It wasn't that the lack of evident truth, it didn't cause them to fall. It caused them to climb even higher.
Yeah, right.
I think that's really what the status is indicating.
Yes, exactly. And I don't want to go too deep into it, but that's not, for you Luciferians and Satanists out there, it's not a reason to try to become an obstacle for others because you think that strife helps people, so I'm going to become an agent of strife for other people. It's a really dark way of thinking. But it is true. The natural evolutionary pressure without angelic oversight on your planet kind of creates a sturdy soul. It's a long conversation, and we should save that for a different episode to see it. But let's just dive into the paper, yeah?
Yeah, sure. And also, when did you want to look at that Watson and Crick bit?
Let's see. Later? Yeah, when we're reading this, I'll find a perfect way to segue.
Yeah, for sure.
I guess I'll start it. Part 4, the Urantia Adventure. Do not overlook the fact that Urantia was assigned to us as a life experiment world. On this planet, we made our 60th attempt to modify, and if possible, improve the Satania adaptation of the Nebadon life designs. And it is of record that we achieved numerous beneficial modifications of the standard life patterns. To be specific, on Urantia, we worked out and have satisfactorily demonstrated not less than 28 features of life modification, which will be of service to all Nebadon throughout all future time. What a banger. We talk about this all the time, man. That's why people talk about the Pleiadians and the Lyran seed galaxy, the cradle of our genetics. I mean, this is kind of verifying and validating that. It says that this planet, we made our 60th attempt to modify and improve the Satania adaptation. First of all, it doesn't really say how big Satania is. I think it does, but I need to read it a little bit more with a precise fine-tuned comb. It could be with Orion, and the Pleiades could be within the Satania system.
Yep.
Our iteration's the 60th, so that means there's 59 other planets out there that could look very similar to us.
Yeah.
Why do the Pleiadians and the Oriones look, and the Nordics
or
look like us?
Why are there like cat extraterrestrials that look like big cats, like evolved?
Interesting. The dolphin people and the blue avians.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
These life programs are being evolved in other places, and on some other planets, they're actually the dominant species. And if you're talking about cat aliens, which sounds weird on the surface, but look at us. Look how much we look like monkeys. There's a relationship, meaning that like the monkeys could eventually evolve to a higher consciousness point. Maybe if some extra ET-DNA was injected and some evolution overcontrol happened.
Yeah. And like the cats could be the version of the cat that didn't reach intelligence. You know,
exactly.
and intelligence could have evolved from any of the or anything.
Okay.
Like
Okay,
dolphins.
the cat thing. Let's say maybe it's like, well, why would they give the older version of the cat
furries
here?
a lot right now.
You know,
The furries are getting
for the
stoked.
cat people, the cat ETs. But no, it's like, okay, if there's already a cat species
Got my
evolved on
furry
a
butt
planet,
plug.
it's like, why would you put cats back here on this planet in the less evolved state? Well, you go, okay, maybe it's because they want a new variation that of cat people that evolves over a next generation.
And
they need to go backwards, because to get that evolution, it's tiny steps along the way.
Or maybe they're planning for like the next iteration of cat person, but before they get there, they need to generate a specific cat mammal from like a Urantia experiment zone. Then they'll take that and then replant it somewhere else for
to become the dominant species or something.
That'd be wild, because they're all constantly iterating.
Yeah, iterating.
That's crazy, dude. And then it says that it's of record that they worked out no less than 28 features of life modification, which will be of service. They did that through us. So they made 28 breakthroughs in the Adamic template on Urantia.
It's like 28 new iPhones.
28 Cybertrucks? No, is that bad? That's terrible. I'm not down with Elon. Sorry. That was just a joke. But that is kind of crazy. So I guess we're wearing the sports model right now. Look at that. So the sports model that Bob Lazar was talking about wasn't a ship. He's talking about our bodies. I'm just kidding. Hey, all the UFO people are, no.
Yeah, but I bet the health people like this, because they're all about like improving the body, and it's like, the body is the space UFO, a temple that's being designed
for your spirit, you know,
and you optimizing or like you're putting it to its through the paces and tests.
I like that. Oh, that's so sick.
Oh, okay, yeah, because it's meant to integrate with a greater system as well.
Parent genetic.
Wait. Who told you we could mate and hybridize with ET species?
Moving on. No, but
No comment.
John Ramirez, these dreams, dog. No, John Ramirez in the CIA, he says that, like I said, I've been saying it in every episode, there is a higher classified zone or department that's higher than crash retrieval programs and higher than spacecraft from ET races themselves. And he says the CIA is tracking humans with hybrid ET DNA. And he also says that we're all hybrids, that in our far past, ETs mated with us, and that we're an offshoot of that. It's exactly what the Urantia book says.
Yes.
So I guess let's keep going, man. This already from one paragraph in, dude. This is what the people want. All right, sorry, I just need to get my mouse ready. Cool. But the establishment of life on no world is ever experimental in the sense that something untried and unknown is attempted. The evolution of life is a technique ever progressive, differential, and variable, but never haphazard, uncontrolled, nor wholly experimental in the accidental sense. Well, that makes me feel good. They're not just over here like treating it like a corporate slop, just throwing shit together and seeing what sticks. They care.
It sounds like it's part of like keeping a stable system. Like you don't introduce entirely new variables into your evolutionary program just to be like,
see what happens. Yeah,
it's much more guided and intentional.
Exactly. Makes me feel nice. I can sleep better at night. Well, then why do these grays keep waking up over my bed and staring the fuck out of me and putting needles in my balls? Many features of human life afford abundant evidence that the phenomenon of mortal existence was intelligently planned, that organic evolution is not a mere cosmic accident. When a living cell is injured, it possesses the ability to elaborate certain chemical substances which are empowered so to stimulate and activate the neighboring normal cells that they immediately begin the secretion of certain substances which facilitate healing processes in the wound. And at the same time, these normal and uninjured cells begin to proliferate. They actually start to work creating new cells to replace any fellow cells which may have been destroyed by the accident. This chemical action and reaction concerned in wound healing and cell reproduction represents the choice of the life carriers of a formula embracing over 100,000 phases and features of possible chemical reactions and biologic repercussions. More than 500,000 specific experiments were made by the life carriers in their laboratories before they finally settled upon this formula for the Urantia life experiment. That's wild, right?
Yeah, and that's that pre-planning phase. Again, this is really expanding like that. It's not as simple as God just creates humans on Earth. It's
No.
more like God creates a bunch of beings to play in the sandbox.
Yes.
And a bunch of these beings, their role is to sort of create and design life.
Yeah.
It's not like taking God out of it. It's just showing you that it's much more complex, and there much more of what happens in the time-space universe is sort of given to the free will of the beings who live and work and play there.
Yeah. And it's cool. I always think of it like, you know what a transformer is on like an electrical grid?
Oh, I was thinking of like Bumblebee and Optimus Prime. Autobots, roll up.
You know, Transformer.
Metatron.
I was thinking
Metatron.
Chris Brown, the Transformer. You know that song?
No.
Okay. Obviously you don't. But okay, so a transformer, when it comes to like electric lines, like, you know, the power grid.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Transformers downstep energy from like a high voltage to a lower voltage so that we can use it on our phones. And it, like, you pretty much give the highest one in the power line and they just keep transforming it, downstepping it so that we can use it on our level. You know, it's kind of like that's what God does. He like attenuates himself. He downsteps himself. He keeps downgrading himself in order to like, excuse me, have a different experience in a denser state where he is less there. I guess when he removes himself but creates those dimensions, that's where you start getting the fun. Look at Earth, look at life. But that's how I'm thinking of these angels, how they're just they're different creations of beings, different extraterrestrial beings that are created to be in charge of these processes. But it's God attenuating himself. He's creating other beings to do the work for him because he loves them so much that he wants them to gain experience so that they can learn. The Urantia book says that the Father, he always divests himself of power that is delegable. If the power is delegable to another personality that he can create, he will do that. So as long as he can do that, he will do that. What's non-delegable is reserved for only him, and that's where the powers get crazy.
Yeah, and we do see that delegation principle in the Bible multiple times. So if you think it's not there, like even the garden, Adam and Eve, it's like, okay, subdue the earth, be fruitful and multiply.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, I'm delegating this planet to you. You're the stewards now. Go do the work.
Amen.
And even there's this concept of like they call in the Bible, you call it the divine council. It's the Elohim. It's
the multiple
sometimes
gods.
It mentions gods in plural,
because Eloah is that singular.
yeah, and it doesn't mean that like it's a pantheon and that there isn't one like primal consciousness at the top. It means that there is this host of spiritual beings that help manage and make the system sort of happen. And it's all there. It's just the way that we modernly read some of these ancient religions. We sort of take what we want out of it instead of really going back to the text. And there's some great thinkers who really reveal that it's there. You just have to
Jesus himself brought that up. How come in the beginning it said Elohim in the original text, which in Hebrew is plural, you know? So is there more than one God? Why is it God Trinity?
Even that's a weird question, you know? But they don't really explain philosophically why that's happening.
But some cool stuff. Yeah, so the Overcontrol of evolution. Yeah, these cool beings. Let's keep going. One, Urantia scientists know more. Is that where I am? Yeah. Oh, and it says like the life carriers formed that in their laboratories. Last night we were reading from the Keys of Enoch, and the Keys of Enoch says that the Orion area is where they experiment with life programs. He says the word laboratories for the higher evolution.
Yeah.
So you're like, interesting. I wonder if they're stationed in Orion.
Yeah. And there's other in the UFO field. There's other connections that people are making to Orion, and it's because of this. We don't have like the cosmic answer yet, but that's what we have in these texts. They're sort of hinting at it. Yeah. But it's sort of maybe it's up to us to sort of prove out the location and figure it out for sure.
Oh yeah. Okay, we got some revelation, but that's for a different episode. Yeah. Some theories. Okay. When Urantia scientists know more of these healing chemicals, they will become more efficient in the treatment of injuries. and indirectly, they will know more about controlling certain serious diseases. Since life was established on Urantia, the life carriers have improved this healing technique as it has been introduced on another Satania world, in that it affords more pain relief and exercises better control over the proliferation capacity of the associated normal cells. That's pretty dope. So we have a wound healing capacity that's more advanced than other planets, and they took that from us and they reiterated that into the next life
So we can beat the
zone.
reptilians because they won't heal. We
Oh,
cut them.
dude.
We cut them, but we're gonna heal faster.
If they try to get the loose, bro, you whip out the shank and stab them
Ooh.
because you know they're gonna bleed.
They're gonna bleed
quick.
out faster than we're gonna bleed out.
They can hit you, but good next week, dog. I'm gonna suck your loose out of you now.
Oh, ooh.
Flip the game on.
Yeah. Although allegedly the reptilians, this was their home, and that during the dinosaur age
Oh
they were
my
actually.
god. Okay,
I don't know if
Lacerda.
that's
Okay,
true, but
Lacerda.
Yeah,
Relax.
Lacerda's trying to inject their.
Shout out to Lacerda.
What's up? What's up? We want to talk to some lizard
real
people.
aliens, yeah.
But we respect the hustle. We're just not sure if it's true that this is your home.
Yeah, exactly. You can come try to give your case on the podcast. We'll hear you out, but
Yep.
be prepared for a little bit of pushback. We'll blur out your face and we'll mask your voice. It'll be cool, but we know it's our planet, and you're trying to play a psyop on the humans. We know we're not dumb. All right, let's get back into it. So that's cool. We got sick healing mechanisms. We're like fucking. Who's a superhero that heals good? We're like Wolverine.
I wonder if blood clotting is like an example of that. Like we kind of take that for granted, like how
like
fast the blood
scabbing.
clots and scabs and everything. That maybe that's got to be part of the
my
process,
God,
the fast healing.
You might be onto it. Yeah. That makes sense. Because we do heal really fast. We think about when we get cut and it scabs like a week. It scabs over and then fucking. It's pretty dope. There were many unique features on the Urantia life experiment, but the two outstanding episodes were the appearance of the Andonic race prior to the evolution of the six colored peoples, and the later simultaneous appearance of the Sangic mutants in a single family. Urantia is the first world in Satania where the six colored races sprang from the same human family. That's crazy. They ordinarily arise in diversified strains from independent mutations within the pre-human animal stock, and usually appear on Earth one at a time, and successively over long periods of time, beginning with the red and passing on down through the colors to the indigo. That's wild. That paragraph has always blown me away. So our planet, on normal planets, usually the Native American red man type appears from the evolutionary struggle. He's on planet for a long amount of time. Then yellow appears from red. Then he's on planet for a long time. And they get time to mix. So they get mixed. And then what comes from that is the orange. They mix. Red, orange, yellow, green. Green. They mix. And it's successive and slow. They say our planet is the only planet where a human appeared that was pre-color. Andonic. And when they say pre-color andonic, they're referring to the Eskimo Inuit type. And there are scientific papers that say the Eskimo Inuit genome is older than the African genome.
Okay.
Very controversial.
And the andonic, when they say like a human race before the colored races, I guess what defines human? Is it like they can support the God consciousness?
Yeah, they have the ability to recognize God.
Okay, yeah, and the complexity of self-awareness is also there.
Yeah,
that's what they mean by. That's when we say, loosely when we say human, it's more about like the complexity of the self-awareness of the being.
Exactly.
And for God consciousness, for the cosmic mind, for us to sort of tap into those circuits.
Yeah, and that's what differentiates us from animals. Yeah, we're self-conscious and we have the ability to recognize God. Usually on a planet, like I said, the first red human appears directly from the animals. I guess this is the first planet we generated a pre-color type. So within the Eskimo Inuit, all color potential exists in that DNA strain. And then randomly, when they had a baby, I think it might have been 200-something years. I gotta recheck my Urantia book, but all of the colored races appeared from one family.
Wow.
So he had a kid and a fucking red guy came out. He had a kid and a blue guy. And then a nigga came out. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, I got the fucking, you know that picture of like everybody on the
right
world?
here.
Yeah, exactly. You know that picture, everybody holding hands around the world, you know what I'm saying? All the different color races, like world peace. Yeah, he had that in his family. And he was like, imagine being that guy. Everybody's like, whoa, you okay, Fred? What's up with your kids?
Yeah, you wonder if they had like, if it got like holy or demon. Like, what did they think? They were like, oh, the devil.
Or were they like, oh, these are cool? Yeah, I'd love to be there for those. Yeah. When I die and go back, I'm gonna go back.
Like the whole village, everyone around them was like oohing and eyeing.
Oh yeah, these are the new, these are the new beings.
Yeah, the new beings.
I'm sure the seraphim are above manipulating feelings. Like it's good. Don't fall into killing each other.
Don't kill them.
Yeah, don't kill them. They're not aberrations, abominations. But that's interesting, right? So our planet is already. This is before Jesus came. This is before Jesus even made his decision to come. This is before the rebellion. So our planet is already different. Our planet's already on the map. Like, oh shit! You see what they did over there? They generated a pre-color human type.
Yeah.
So that's crazy, and that's what the Anunnaki came as. The Anunnaki came as andonic.
They used the andonic DNA to create specific bodies. Kind of like Avatar, bro. Legit.
Exactly like Avatar. Yeah. For real, dude. For real. Good connection. I need to watch that movie again.
And actually, this is an important point to make. I think we overlook this. Sometimes we assume that like aliens can like land and that it's safe for them to land. But think of all the biological processes that occur during the evolutionary states. Like, if we just land on another planet in a biological zone, like we have no immunity to all the weird stuff on that planet. Even the chances of us like being able to breathe the air might be kind of low depending on what the mixture is in the air. So like for aliens to just land, like that's probably a rare spectacle unless they're using technology like in a spacesuit. So this is actually a better method, is actually you design a body for this now, but this prerequisite requires that you can move consciousness between bodies. So it's a pretty advanced.
Yeah, you have to be super advanced.
Yeah. And so but yeah, the Anunnaki group, this story that we're talking about, includes that sort of advanced stage, and the story is much bigger and complex than Sitchin's.
Yeah, we have it on the channel.
Yeah, we have it on the channel.
Yeah, go
check it out. 2-parter.
2 parts. Yeah, it's not a live stream; it's an actual video. So go check it out. Yeah, it's sick. The entire Anunnaki story. But so that's just a crazy thought. It's something that people need to realize why our planet's different. So if you land on a different planet, they're probably all going to be one color, one race. Okay. Our planet's the only planet where they all exist simultaneously. Yeah, we got to do it all at once. This is fucking so cool, right? Like me and you wouldn't exist next to each other on a different planet. Insane. It's fucking crazy to think about.
I wonder if this is why the Pleiadians like all look white. I mean,
probably.
That's like all the stories.
Well, and the Urantia book also says that some planets don't get all the colors.
Okay.
They're only like monocultures.
Sure. Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm only used to Earth.
I bet New York City looks crazy to the aliens. They're like, look at all.
That's what I'm trying to say.
The Big Apple, the mixing pot.
That's what I'm trying to say.
They're like, holy cow! Look at all the art coming. That's why New York is so popular. Like, it's the mixing pot of the galaxy. Like, literally,
all the different type of alien races are together. But like Earth, if you want to consider the different colors of human races, like different alien races, this is the first time they're all together and they're generated organically in the same city, mixing up. So when you say like New York, it's a mixed melting pot. Now let's think of it like a cosmic rest stop or a cosmic resort, where you get to see all of the different types of the races existing together, where you don't get to see that normally. That's fucking sick, dude. It makes it beautiful.
Yeah,
and we're over killing each other about it, dude.
Yeah,
and see, that's what
it's like literally one of the most unique things about our planet is the most dividing thing when you're actually here.
Yeah, and it seems like the deep state, to get conspiratorial, they're trying to play that race card, make us BLM, like all like Muslim, Jew, this, that. It's like they're trying to pit people against each other based off color groups and races, when we should be loving each other based off of this. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And my theory, Caligastia's in touch with the people in control because he doesn't want us to reintegrate with the Galactic Kingdom. So the reason, how would you get us, what's the best way to prevent us from getting into the Galactic Kingdom? Is keeping us at strife, What's up? We got some comments in there.
We got Mike making some jokes. He says, y'all are racist. Well, we're talking about race. We're talking about different planets, but we hear you. It seems like he's giving some jokes.
Oh, it's ankle biter. Yeah, it's the homie.
Okay. He says, and here you guys want to hang out.
That's the homie, dude.
What's up, Mike? And then we got Scott Mofa. What's up, bro? What's happening? Tapping in from Big Sir, brother.
There he is. Appreciate the comments on the video the other day. Yeah. coming in with the music hot. Big shout. Mike is actually in one of our episodes, dude. He recorded with us.
Really?
Yeah.
Mike says, "Pay attention, guy with glasses."
Shout out to the chat.
Yeah, blowing up the chat finally.
Yeah, right.
Where are y'all at?
Like it if you're
We
in
got
it. Like
6
it.
people here watching it.
Press
Yeah,
the like.
it up.
How many likes we got? Make sure you press the like button before you leave. And what's up? Are we at 1,700 subscribers yet? If you're not subscribed to the channel and watching this, hit that sub, dude. Get us to 1,700. We're 1 subscriber away. Yeah, we're 1 subscriber away. Share this to your feed. Share this to your friends. Or at 16,999,999,999.
Make another fake YouTube account if you want. Just get us to
I ain't
1,700.
doing that. Oh, no fake YouTube accounts. All right, yeah, but one of you guys can, you know? Tell your friends, subscribe to this shit.
Scott said he's gonna do Mike said I'm gonna do a thumbs down.
Yeah, dude, thumbs down it, fucking unsubscribe and delete one of the shares that you can find out there. I don't know. So that's a cool thing to think about. Our planet is the fucking, is it bad to say cosmic zoo of races? You know, it's like a social petri dish of galactic DNA. It's fucking sick. Another outstanding variation of procedure was the late arrival of the planetary prince. As a rule, the prince appears on a planet about the time of will development. And if such a planet had been followed, Caligastia might have come to Urantia even during the lifetime of Andon and Fanta, instead of almost 500,000 years later, simultaneously with the appearance of the 6 Sangak races. So the staff appeared not when the pre-human type appeared.
Yeah, they left the Endonics to go for 500,000 years
by themselves, dude. Just straight up caveman in it.
Okay.
Fucking hard asses, dude.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen like when Eskimos eat, dude?
No.
They'll kill a caribou or something right
ASMR
there.
mukbang.
Yeah, well, they'll kill a caribou or a reindeer right there. The entire town comes out.
Okay.
Right where it is, and they just eat it right there on the spot.
Wow.
Don't cook it, nothing, raw. And they like open it up.
It's still common in
modern. Yeah, you can see it on YouTube, dude.
Okay, it's on YouTube.
And the kids will they know how to cut out all the organs.
Yeah.
And they take out the gallbladder because it has like the bile.
Okay.
And they somehow developed a taste for the bile because it's super like sour.
Okay.
And they'll like spritz the bile on all the organs, and they're biting it, and they're just bloody, and they look crazy. Like freaking like animal children.
Yeah. Well, they look like Liver King.
Yeah. And in 2 hours, 3 hours, the entire thing is gone.
Yeah.
There's just bones, and then they use the bones
Pure
and sinew for
nothing,
for making
nothing
clothes.
Lost. Yeah.
Nothing lost, dude. It's wild.
Respect.
Yeah, 500,000 years of no angelic over guidance, and you're just in the woods. Gets you real efficient, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, shout out to the Eskimos. Shout out to the Inuit. Sorry. I think they're a First Nation tribe. I think they're considered Native American First Nation too. Yeah.
Huh.
I want to go spend time with them, man. They have so much knowledge and wisdom to teach. Okay. So Caligastia, the Anunnaki, appeared at the same time. Oh, wow. That's crazy. So that kind of changes the timeline, right? People talking about Zechariah stitching and shit. Like when the Anunnaki actually landed. So the Anunnaki landed, when they landed, it was the exact same time when all the colored races appeared. So we can kind of track that in time, you know, with the Sumerian tablets and glyphs. Once we get to that very beginning part, we know that's about the time when the colored races appeared 500,000 years ago. On an ordinary inhabited world, a planetary prince would have been granted on the request of the life carriers at or sometime after the appearance of Andon and Fanta. But Urantia having been designated a life modification planet, it was by pre-arrangement that the Melchizedek observers, 12 in number, were sent as advisors to the life carriers and overseers of the planet until the subsequent arrival of the planetary prince. These Melchizedeks came at the time Andon and Fanta made the decisions which enabled thought adjusters to indwell their mortal minds. Okay, so instead of Anunnaki coming, they sent a special corps of 12 Melchizedeks to come when Andon and Fanta appeared. On Urantia, the endeavors of the life carriers to improve the Satania life pattern necessarily resulted in the production of many apparently useless forms of transition life. but the gains already accrued are sufficient to justify the Urantia modifications of the standard life designs. What do you mean to justify? Are they trying to say, could this have been a waste of time? Just wipe it out. Waste of time. Nothing's good here. It was our intention, like the dinosaurs.
Like the reptilians
Yeah, exactly.
who were here, but they didn't want them to be here.
Yeah, we're not getting much from this. Let's fucking restart. It was our intention to provide or to produce an early manifestation of will evolutionary life on Urantia, and we succeeded. Ordinarily, will does not emerge until the colored races have long been in existence, usually first appearing among the superior types of the red men. Your world is the only planet in Satania where the human type of will has appeared in a pre-colored race. That's wild. Special planet, baby. That's why I have a hypothesis that this could have been from the beginning. How would you put it? Like designed into the blueprints as a Michael planet, his personal planet.
Okay.
He wanted to create a specific type of genetic physical garment flesh for his like personal planet.
Interesting, yeah.
And that maybe Caligastia and Lucifer got wind of that before, and they were like, we want to steal it. Let's see if we can steal that image.
Okay. You have to provide me a little more juice if I'm gonna get on that. But yeah, I get it. I guess yeah, it is interesting.
You smell
like,
what I'm stepping in.
Were any of these things possibly preempted, or was someone with foresight who maybe was like sitting down doing a podcast with the life carriers?
Yeah.
So you're going to Urantia in a couple million years. Like, any interesting ideas you might want to try? And they get this, and then they realize like, oh,
Yeah.
there's something. They're doing a couple unique things. I speculate that XYZ could happen. I might want to put a pin on this planet to do something unique.
And well, now let's also add that with the member in that one paper we read, it said that they had planned for the offspring of Adam and Eve to mate with the offspring of the Anunnaki and create a majestic race of beings who wouldn't be civilly sovereign. They'd be socially sovereign. They'd be like aristocratic Renaissance teachers. So I'm wondering, like, if they were trying to generate like a super like aristocratic, like beautiful race from the beginning, what if this is Michael's personal decision because he wanted this planet from the beginning? That's just my hypothesis, And like, is there any, like you said, they're doing a podcast. Is there any foresight in these creation for these templates, or is it just, we just want to iterate new patterns?
Was it really a surprise? How much of a surprise was it to the higher ups?
Exactly. Yeah. I don't know. I love to believe that Lucifer figured that out, and that's why he stole the planet. But you want to hold it down and read for a bit because I gotta pee.
Yeah, definitely. Did you just finish reading this paragraph? Are we on 5 now?
I don't think so. I think on your
I gotta read the last paragraph then.
Okay.
And then I'll spend some time talking to the comments here. Okay, but in our effort to provide for that combination and association of inheritance factors which finally gave rise to the mammalian ancestors of the human race, we were confronted with the necessity of permitting hundreds and thousands of other and comparatively useless combinations and associations of inheritance factors to take place. Many of these seemingly strange byproducts of our efforts are certain to meet your gaze as you dig back into the planetary past, and I can well understand how puzzling some of these things must be to the limited human viewpoint. Okay, so the first thought I had when they said that was the duck-billed platypus. Because it's obviously this weird it looks like this bird beak, duck beak, but it's on this platypus, which looks almost more like a mammal. But I guess those things still lay eggs. Are they mammals? I don't know. But yeah, so very interesting life programs running here. So Scott here, you're asking us, so we're actually in Tennessee right now, and we're going to be driving up to Missouri for a Urantia conference. So that's all like next week. But no, this is not up in Asilomar in Monterey. We'll be in Kansas, Missouri, I think. Yeah. And then Mike says, D-Big, have you been working out? You look swole, my guy. Have you been working out?
Not enough.
Not enough, he says.
Yeah, only 2 times a week. Should be every day.
And then Mike said, "Guy with glasses, tell D-Bake what I've been writing because you don't have the chat up. I can get. You want my
Yeah,
iPad
I'll
next to you
take
so you
the
can see the chat."
Guy in glasses.
He's coming at me, bro.
This is Mike. We've done a podcast together, so you've talked to
I
him.
don't. Sorry, I don't remember you, Mike. It's been a minute, so I shun you. No, I'm kidding. Oh, my iPad's dead. Sorry,
Okay,
it'll
gang.
you have to talk
you
to
got your
D-Bake
phone.
through me.
You got your phone, right?
Yeah, you can use my phone. We needed like a big billboard when comments
That's
come
what I'm
up.
saying, dude. I mean, I can use my phone. It's the screen's
D-Bake's
broken.
phone has been broken for so long. He keeps
Yeah.
saying he's gonna get a new one, but he ain't getting a new one.
No, you're gonna have to fucking rip it out of my hands. Baller.
There you go. You go ahead.
There we go.
You got a direct line to D-Bake.
I am not a space alien. Yeah, you are. I have no idea what you're talking about. What is an Urantia? All right, get the fuck out of here.
We are the Anunnaki's genetic project. The human body avatar is the highest tech in the planet. Let's reawaken our DNA's latent potential from within. Okay, ChatGPT. No, I'm kidding. That's lit, Scott. You're right. We are the highest tech in the planet. It was just your last line that sounded like ChatGPT. Let's reawaken our DNA's latent potential from within. That's like ChatGPT loves to like pump you up and encourage you. So
This
I
might
mean-
not be Mike. I don't even know. Might be a different Mike. Whatever. Shout out to Mike. But yeah, what? Keep reading.
Yeah, here we go. Keep going. It was a source of regret to the life carriers that our special efforts to modify intelligent life on Urantia should have been so handicapped by tragic perversions beyond our control, the Caligastia betrayal and the Adamic default. But throughout all this biological adventure, our greatest disappointment grew out of the reversion of a certain primitive plant life to the pre-chlorophyll levels of parasitic bacteria on such an extensive and unexpected scale. Wow, that's funny. That's like the worst thing that happens in their journal.
Yeah.
The plants regress to the pre-chlorophyll stage.
We
We're
weren't
so
planning
mad.
for this. We weren't planning. We didn't
What do we
foresee
do?
this.
What do we do?
I mean, but that's fungus. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
Like
key aspect,
elsewhere
I
in the
guess.
Urantia book, they say fungus are plants that reverted back to their pre-chlorophyll stage.
Oh, crazy.
Mm.
I just had mushrooms this morning.
Yeah, I know.
So like I'm eating what they're crying over.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out too, like how to reconcile that because a lot of fungi are healthy for you. So
Mhm.
I don't know, maybe.
But notice how they don't look as complex, right?
No,
I mean, sure, there's complexity to it, but like,
and they're not thinking of the benefits of health for us. They're thinking of if it's a progressive or regressive strain of
Sure,
evolutionary
sure.
biology. You
Got
know?
it, yeah.
You know, is it going to evolve up to humans? Probably not because it regressed already. You know,
mhm. Yeah.
but it still could have biological benefits for ingesting wise.
Yeah.
You know.
The
Woo! Thank you. I just connected that thought in my own head right there. Bam! About to eat the mushrooms more. Speaking of which, you want to eat some? No.
Yeah.
Not
This-
on camera, but we do.
This eventuality in plant life evolution caused many distressful diseases in the higher mammals, particularly the more vulnerable human species. When we were confronted with this perplexing situation, we somewhat discounted the difficulties involved because we knew that the subsequent admixture of the Adamic life plasm would so reinforce the resisting powers of the resulting blended race as to make it practically immune to all diseases produced by the vegetable type of organism. But our hope were doomed to disappointment owing to the misfortune of the Adamic default. The universe of universes, including this small world called Urantia, is not being managed merely to meet our approval, nor just suit our convenience, much less to gratify our whims and satisfy our curiosity. The wise and all-powerful beings who are responsible for universe management undoubtedly know exactly what they are about, and so it becomes life carriers and behooves mortal minds to enlist in patient waiting and hearty cooperation with the rule of wisdom, the reign of power, and the march of progress. There are, of course, certain compensations for tribulation, such as Michael's bestow on Urantia. But irrespective of all such considerations, the later celestial supervisors of this planet express complete confidence in the ultimate evolutionary triumph of the human
Amen.
race and the eventual vindication of our original plans and life patterns.
Hell yeah, dog.
Gang, gang.
Don't get too down, baby. Hold that head up. We out here. Part 6, evolutionary techniques of life. That is wild because, you know, some spores do kind of screw you up. some spore diseases. And I think elsewhere in the Urantia book, it says all parasitic bacteria are actually an evolution from this stage in the plant process. So in like the evolutionary stage, I think it was before humans appeared, plants started reverting into the fungi, and the fungi became parasitic, and that's where our parasitic viruses come from, that evolutionary tree or strain. So when we get viruses, it's actually because bacteria are plant life. It's the same.
It's a form of
plant life, and the virus strain vector is a form of that regression parasitic viral strain that came from that regressive strain. So I think that's what they're talking about.
Interesting. Yeah. It is impossibly accurate to determine simultaneously the exact location and the velocity of a moving object. Any attempt at any measurement of either inevitably involves change in the other. The same sort of paradox
can the Heisner uncertainty principle, the Heisman uncertainty principle. The more you try to track an object in time and space, once you try to quantify or focus on one of them, you get the other one becomes more unpredictable. So while I'm running through time and space, if you try to focus on where I am, I'm not gonna try to explain it, but one becomes more unpredictable as the more you get certain about the other. That makes sense.
Interesting. I mean, but is it because, like, for example, if I use a laser meter to see how far you are to pinpoint your geolocation?
Heisenberg uncertainty principle.
Yeah. To pinpoint geolocation, is it because even by shining a laser, I'm beaming energy onto the object, which is going to like affect it? Like if the object was light enough, that light could potentially move it. I don't know if it's in space or something.
Yep, I was right. Heisenberg's indeterminacy principle. It's a fundamental quantum concept in quantum physics. It states that certain pairs of physical properties like position and momentum. Okay, I was saying your position in time and space.
When did that come out? When was that theory?
Oh, years. Heisenberg was like nuclear, like early 40s, 30s, 40s.
Yeah.
Heisenberg is it states that certain pairs of physical properties like position and momentum can't be simultaneously known with perfect precision. The more accurately one property is known, the less accurately the other can be known. For example, if we know everything about a particle's location, we know nothing about its momentum. Does that make sense? And if you only focus on its momentum, you know nothing about its location. That's crazy, right?
Bro, I ain't do physics since high school.
But so that's what I'm trying to say. What was I applying that to? It's okay. You were saying something. Oh, you're reading something. What are you reading?
Say. I'm saying things.
It is impossible to accurately determine simultaneously the exact location and the velocity of a moving object. That's what they're referring to. The Heisenberg indeterminacy.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Look at that.
Real science.
The same sort of a paradox confronts mortal man when he undertakes the chemical analysis of protoplasm. The chemist can elucidate the chemistry of dead protoplasm, but he cannot discern either the physical organizations or the dynamic performance of living protoplasm. Ever will the scientist come nearer and nearer the secrets of life, but never will he find them, and for no other reason than that he must kill protoplasm in order to analyze it. Dead protoplasm weighs the same as living protoplasm, but it is not the same.
That's crazy, huh? That's crazy. And that kind of answers, oh my God, that answers the problem. Does the soul have weight? No, because protoplasms don't have souls. But, people, like those ancient, like the medieval guys would weigh a body when they're dying.
It had 3 grams.
Yeah, the 3 grams. Yeah.
That's the weight of the
3
soul.
grams. Yeah, because they would weigh people when they died.
Right.
And then they'd see the scale go down 3 grams. People would say it's this gas leaving your body or something like that. But I don't know if that answers it because they don't have souls. It's a protoplasm. Because dead protoplasm weighs the same.
I wonder if it's something about the charge of life.
Okay.
Like when you're
Holds
actually
weight?
like, even though it's not like a brain person. No, I don't think it's. I'm not sure if they're referring to weight. They say.
It weighs.
Okay, dead protoplasm weighs the same as living No, they're saying that. So the difference between dead and alive is not weight. It's something else.
So you can't weigh.
It's not the weight.
So that's what I'm saying. So you can't weigh the soul.
Yeah.
Because if this, the dead body is going to weigh the same as the live body.
Because also, the reason I say this is that there's another part where it talks about how like the living charge can only be initiated by like a life carrier, like an actual alive being has to provide the spark of life.
Yeah.
in order to get the little simple organisms like going and stuff.
No lightning bolt in the primordial suit.
Right. I mean, maybe that's the life carriers. That's their lightning.
That they do the lightning. Okay.
Maybe. But yeah, that
Look at that, solving mysteries live.
Yeah. That's why it's different. Studying a live monkey versus a dead monkey. You learn more about the monkey when you see it alive in an environment, how it acts.
Exactly. That's why we need live aliens.
Otherwise, you're guessing. You're like, I've never seen a monkey eat a banana, but these fingers seem like they might be good at eating bananas.
Yeah, that's crazy. See, exactly. It's not even close to the same.
Right. It's just like you see it eating bananas, and you're like, oh, that's the thing that it does.
The scientific paradox, the biological paradox.
So there is original endowment of adaptation in living things and beings. In every living plant or animal cell, in every living organism, material or spiritual, there is an insatiable craving for the attainment of ever-increasing perfection of environmental adjustment.
Hell yeah.
Organismal adaptation and augmented life realization.
Hell yeah.
These interminable efforts of all living things evidence an existence within them of an innate striving for perfection.
That's crazy, dude. Let's break that down, dude. That's triosophy. They're explaining triosophy on the fucking cellular level. See that? Environmental adjustment, the physical aspect of the child. Organismal adaptation, that's the mental, how you adapt to it. And then the increasing life realization, the thing and the meaning get added together. You get the value. You start realizing the part of life. It's crazy. And they say that even in the single cell, these 3 trisophic traits are inherent in them. It's pretty dope.
Okay. The most important step in plant evolution was the development of chlorophyll-making ability, and the second greatest advance was the evolution of the spore into the complex seed. The spore is most efficient as a reproductive agent, but it lacks the potentials of variety and versatility inherent in the seed. One of the most serviceable and complex episodes in the evolution of the higher types of animals consisted in the development of the ability of the iron in the circulating blood cells to perform the double role of oxygen carrier and carbon dioxide remover. And this performance of the red blood cells illustrates how evolving organisms are able to adapt their functions to varying or changing environment. The higher animals, including man, oxygenate their tissues by the action of the iron of the red blood cells, which carries oxygen of the living cells and just as efficiently removes the carbon dioxide. But other metals can be made to serve the same purpose. The cuttlefish employs copper for this function, and the sea squirt utilizes vanadium.
That's crazy, right? So they can use different metals and bloodstreams to do the same processes.
Yeah.
So if we meet aliens,
it's like Legos.
Exactly. If we meet aliens, they could have vanadium in their blood instead of iron. They could have copper in their blood, And I think there is a UFO report of a scientific biological report where they say their blood is copper based. That's kind of trippy.
Yeah. The continuation of such biologic adjustments is illustrated by the evolution of teeth in the higher Urantia mammals. These attained to 36 in man's remote ancestors and then began an adaptative readjustment towards 32 in the dawn man and his near relatives. Oh, they're talking about the amount of teeth in our mouth. Now the human species is slowly gravitating towards 28. The process of evolution is still actively and adaptatively in progress on this planet. We'll get the next version of mankind, Homo occidentalis, universal man, whatever.
Homo universalis.
Yeah, universalis. I think that's from the Keys. But many seemingly mysterious adjustments of living organisms are purely chemical, wholly physical. At any moment of time in the bloodstream of any human being, there exists the possibility of upward of 15 million chemical reactions between the hormone output of a dozen ductless glands.
That's crazy, right?
That's dope. Dopamine and the rest,
serotonin.
all the rest.
Yep. DMT.
The lower forms of plant life are wholly responsive to physical, chemical, and electrical environment. But as the scale of life ascends, one by one, the mind ministries of the 7 adjutant spirits become operative. And the mind becomes increasingly adjustive, creative, coordinative, and dominative. The ability of animals to adapt themselves to air, water, and land is not a supernatural endowment, but it is a superphysical adjustment. Physics and chemistry alone cannot explain how a human being evolved out of the primeval protoplasm of the early seas. The ability to learn, memory, and differential response to environment is the endowment of mind. The laws of physics are not responsive to training.
Oh, wow. The laws of physics are not responsive to training. That's a deep.
They are immutable and unchanging, where human mind is responsive to training.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how we train animals to do all these tricks. The reactions of chemistry are not modified by education. They are uniform and dependable. And modified by education. You're teaching the molecules how to do something new.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, today I want to try to remove oxygen from the blood in a new way.
Yeah.
I need you to bond to something you haven't normally done before. Here's how I suggest you do it.
And that's why there's no true like time and space miracles. They just know certain laws of chemistry that we don't understand, and to us it looks like a miracle.
Right. Aside immutable and changing, not modified by education. Aside from the presence of the unqualified absolute, electrical and chemical reactions are predictable, but mind can profit from experience, can learn from reactive habits of behavior in response to repetition of stimuli.
Amen.
Pre-intelligent organisms react to environmental stimuli, but those organisms which are reactive to mind ministry can adjust and manipulate the environment itself. Okay.
That's cool. The differentiating animal minds, organismal minds. That's cool.
The physical brain with its associated nervous system possesses innate capacity for response to mind ministry, just as the developing mind of a personality possesses a certain innate capacity for spirit receptivity, and therefore contains the potentials of spiritual progress and attainment. Intellectual, social, moral, and spiritual evolution are dependent on the mind ministry of the 7 adjutant spirits and their superphysical associates.
That's a beautiful picture right there. The physical brain with its associated nervous system possesses innate capacity for response to mind ministry in the universe. Just as the developing mind of a personality has innate capacity for receiving spirit realities, you know? So it's saying like our biological nervous system allows us to think, but that's the thing and the meaning right there. Do you hear that? The thing, meaning, and value. Triosophy again. The thing is the nervous system.
Okay.
The meaning is the thinking. But just like that, they when you put them together, you have the thing and the meaning. The relationship is the spiritual value. You know what I'm saying? And when you get it together, that gives you innate capacity for spirit receptivity. So just like we're out here understanding the nervous system scientifically, everybody thinks they're so smart because they're like Da Vinci cutting it open. And I love it. You know, I want to know the nervous system, one part of the triad. Just like we're seeking, but this allows us to think. The nervous system allows us to think. Perfect. There's 2 parts of the triad for triosophy, the thing and the meaning. And we know the value is just the relationship between the thing and the meaning. Now we start to see spiritual values. And it's saying that that is the same thing as what I just explained. That process between the nervous system and the mind that we're so honed in on planet Earth, that is just as valuable as the spirit capacity. So there's another scaffolding above the mind and the nervous system, and it's spirit. It's real. It's not some abstract concept we're talking about. You can go seek in every life situation that you go experience. You can go try to say, I'm going to have more integrity. I'm going to represent more discipline in this situation. When I'm doing push-ups, I'm running with other people. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to express more perseverance in this situation. Those are realities. You can taste them like nectar. Jesus said to seek for them. The fruits of the spirit, they taste sweet. So I think that's beautiful how they're saying it right there. The physical brain with its associated nervous system, you know, the thing, and its capacity for response to the mind, the second part of the triad, the mind. And then just as that mind of the personality, it has a certain innate capacity to receive spirit. And we forget about the spirit. Those realities I was just talking about. Not a lot of people can define the spirit. They just say it's what you can't see. I don't know. You can feel it. No, spirit's real, just like thoughts are real. That's fucking sick, dude.
You want to pick up reading? I gotta grab my water from the other room.
Yeah, go do your thing. That's so sick. So there's like a scaffolding of the universe of mental concepts, mental thought forms, but not just mental concepts and thought forms. There's also a scaffolding in the cosmos of spiritual realities. love, brotherhood, education, perseverance, discipline, integrity, humor, curiosity, being nice, being open minded. All of those are real, like, badges that you can put on your uniform, real flavors that you can add to your palate, you know? So seek those. Just like you want to be smart and learn more things, seek the spiritual realities, because those are the gems on the crown. If you want to wear that, if you want to call yourself a king or a prince or a princess, then earn the crowns. Go out and seek them in everyday reality life experience. Beautiful how they put that. Number 7, evolutionary mind levels. The 7 adjutant mind spirits are the versatile mind ministers to the lower intelligent existences of a local universe. This order of mind is ministered from the local universe headquarters or from some world connected therewith, but there is influential direction of lower mind function from the system capitals. On an evolutionary world, much, very much, depends on the work of these 7 adjutants. But they are mind ministers. They are not concerned in physical evolution, the domain of the life carriers. Nevertheless, the perfect integration of these spirit endowments with the ordained and natural procedure of the unfolding and inherent regime of the life carriers is responsible for the mortal inability to discern, in the phenomenon of mind, aught but the hand of nature and the outworking of natural processes. Albeit you are occasionally somewhat perplexed in explaining all of everything concerned with the natural reactions of mind as it is associated with matter. And if Urantia were operating more in accordance with the original plans, you would observe even less to arrest your attention in the phenomenon of mind. So it's pretty much saying that the mind arrests our attention so much because we don't understand it. And if we grew up on an advanced planet, these teachings would be circulating because the angels wouldn't have rebelled, and there'd be less that makes us stumble in the mind. We'd be less at awe of, whoa. And that's how, like, sophistry, one-liners, gurus, that's how they get a lot of social credit. You know, you can do a lot in reality. You can do a lot in society if you can say a quirky one-liner, usually a cliche one-liner, in a rhyming way. You know, ain't nothing to it but to do it. You know, wow, he's cool. It's because these are just like mental tricks, I guess you would say. There's less to arrest the mind on other planets, so they're not as impressed by these affectations or sophistry or one-liners, you know. But yeah, let's keep going. I got a burp. I feel it. Is it coming? Excuse me. The phenomenon of the spirit. The 7 adjutant spirits are more circuit-like than entity-like, and on ordinary worlds, they are encircuited with other adjutant functionings throughout the local universe. On life experiment planets, however, they are relatively isolated, and on Urantia, owing to the unique nature of the life patterns, the lower adjutants experience far more difficulty in contacting with the evolutionary organisms than would have been the case in a more standardized type of life endowment. Imagine that. They program orgasms. I guess they did, huh? I guess they did. Again, on an average evolutionary world, the 7 adjutant mind spirits are far better synchronized with the advancing stages of animal development than they were on Urantia. But with but a single exception, the adjutants experienced the greatest difficulty in contacting with the evolving minds of Urantia organisms that they had ever in all their functioning throughout the universe of Nebadon. On this world, there developed many forms of border phenomena, confusional combinations of the mechanical non-teachable and the non-mechanical teachable types of organismal response. The 7 adjutant spirits do not make contact with the purely mechanical orders of organismal environmental response. Such pre-intelligent responses of living organisms pertain purely to the energy domains of the power centers, the physical controllers, and their associates. The acquisition of the potential of the ability to learn from experience marks the beginning of the functioning of the adjutant spirits, and they function from the lowliest minds of the primitive and invisible existences up to the highest types in the evolutionary scale of human beings. They are the source and pattern for the otherwise more and less mysterious behavior and incompletely understood, quick reactions of mind to the material environment. Long must these faithful and always dependable influences carry forward their preliminary ministry before the animal mind attains the human levels of spirit receptivity. Adjutants function exclusively in the evolution of experiencing mind up to the level of the sixth phase, the spirit of worship. At this level, there occurs that inevitable overlapping of ministry. The phenomena of the higher reaching down to coordinate with the lower in anticipation of subsequent attainment of advanced levels of development. And still, additional spirit ministry accompanies the action of the seventh and last adjutant, the spirit of wisdom. Throughout the ministry of the spirit world, the individual never experiences abrupt transitions of spirit cooperation. Always are these changes gradual and reciprocal. Always should the domains of the physical, electrochemical, and the mental response to the environment stimuli be differentiated. And in turn, must they all be recognized as phenomena apart from spiritual activities. The domains of physical, mental, and spiritual gravity are distinct realms of cosmic reality, notwithstanding their intimate interrelations. Wow. I'll just reread that last paragraph so you can understand. Always should the domains of the physical, in parentheses, electrochemical, and the mental response to environmental stimuli be differentiated. So electrochemical is not mental. And in turn, must they all be recognized as a phenomena apart from spiritual activities. The domains of physical, mental, and spiritual gravity are distinct realms of cosmic reality, notwithstanding their intimate interrelations. Wow.
This is directly helping people who, the people who are like, well, all our thoughts are just chemical reactions, so we're basically have no free will and stuff. It's sort of like, it's a reductionist approach that comes from, a materialist modern day sort of nihilism as well. Basically trying to reduce all your thoughts to just chemical reactions, which are therefore predictive, and like you're basically a robot who just doesn't know that you don't have a choice.
NPC.
Yeah, but this is actually saying that there's a couple different levels to this. There is the physical, electrochemical, and the mental response, but those can be differentiated and also the spiritual activities are a third differentiation. Mm-hmm. So the domains of physical, mental, and spiritual gravity are distinct realms of cosmic reality, notwithstanding their intimate interrelations.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy. So we're like a byproduct of three spheres, like interacting with each other. Have you seen those weird music machines, like the magnetic music machines, and the guy like puts his hand over it and it makes different noises? You know what I'm talking about? He like wears a glove. Yeah. Is that what it's called?
Well, a theremin is one of them, where there's different tones when you get your
like that. Close. Okay, yeah. So I picture like imagine three spheres that have those properties, and as you put them closer to each other, they make like different noises and sounds. And our reality is a specific combination of those three mental, physical, and spiritual spheres. They're distinct. That's what they're saying. They're interrelated, but they're distinct. So our reality is like a byproduct of the mixing of three different cosmic templates. Triosophy, baby. It's the future. I'm trying to get that app soon. And honestly, I can't wait for everybody to get on the trisophic wave. Literally, you can hit your potential by every day growing in the mind, the body, and the spirits. We've been saying this. We like to talk about aliens. We like to talk about the overcontrol of evolution, but we really want you to understand that mind, body, spirit progress is the key. It's how we get anti-grav. The aliens aren't going to give us anti-grav. unless we step it up. How you want to travel the stars when you can't even get your own planet right, you know? How can we give you anti-grav if